Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric, and Assassin's Creed is one of those franchises where I've, for the most part, have thought they were not half bad. I enjoyed them. I really only played the ones that were out on the Wii U, and the one that came out, I guess, the port couple months ago on the Switch. I think it was 3, Assassin's Creed 3 or something like that. And then I played the Pirate one. And I played a little bit of the first two. But I played a lot of Valhalla, and I absolutely loved it. I thought Valhalla was awesome. But now there's a lot of microtransactions that people are getting pretty peeved about in regards to the game. It's modern gaming. It's quite often a rarity when we do not see any microtransactions in a game. It's almost refreshing. It's like, wow, I don't have to pay extra for anything in this game. But Activision's one of those companies where, or Ubisoft, I'm sorry. Ubisoft is one of those companies that loves their microtransactions. But we're going to take a look at this article from Eurogamer where it's talking about Assassin's Creed fans who hit out at Valhalla's extremely overpriced microtransactions. This is not okay, especially not for a game that costs 60 goddamn bucks. Now me, I tend to not really pay for any microtransactions of any sorts usually in games. I'm usually content with what is around, especially if it's nothing that really gives you a competitive edge. I couldn't imagine anything in Assassin's Creed Valhalla being anything necessary unless you really just wanted some kind of cosmetic change. But let's go ahead and read it. So it says Assassin's Creed fans have hit out at developer Ubisoft for having as many armor sets in its premium store as it does in the entire base game available, only to people who are willing to spend money on extremely overpriced microtransactions. Now, okay, people are entitled to their opinion, and this is a fair complaint, honestly, to have that many behind a paywall. But if it doesn't gain a competitive advantage, the game is a single-player campaign game. It's not necessary. It's not needed to complete the game. So you don't have to buy any of the microtransactions to enjoy the game or play it. So going on, it says in a Reddit post blasting Ubisoft, a Valhalla fan opinioned that the developer just keeps adding and adding ridiculous shit to the microtransaction store, just milking the whales of their money with content that only a very small percentage of players will actually get to enjoy. But that's the thing though. Now, it is a gray area. I am going to play Devil's Avocado real quick. Microtransactions like this are not needed. They're all optional. Do we like seeing them in our games? No, we don't. We don't like seeing them, but it is a part of gaming. I'm not going to say that I like it, but you know what? If it's not giving you a competitive edge, if it's not something like level skip or anything like that, I'm fine with it. There's a lot of games out there that have I mean, look at all the ones that Fortnite has. It almost seems like Nintendo is one of the only companies left that doesn't do microtransactions. Could you imagine Breath of the Wild 2 having microtransactions? You know, knock on wood, it might actually happen. But I'm not against people vocalizing their disappointment in it. Trust me, I know, I understand it. I'm also accepting that it's today's digital age that we're going to see this. It's inevitable. We're not going to be able to get rid of it. I know EA made some changes with Battlefront 2, not as much in way of loot boxes and stuff like that, but you know, I don't see the stuff in Valhalla being anything that really gives you a competitive edge. I see it all as optional, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't buy any of it. So going on, it says the post, which has been upvoted over 5,000 times, adds that while some of it's cosmetic stuff, it actually affects gameplay, and in some cases, rather overpowered. See, I wasn't really clued in about that, but it says there's 9 armors available that you can acquire through normal gameplay and wear in the base game. This does not include the Vinland outfits, which are exclusive only to a very small area of the game, the useless default tunic you begin with, the Legacy Bayek outfit available from the Uplay reward system, which is an outfit, not an armor set, or the armor set available through buying Amazon Prime. It also obviously does not include the weekly selection of stuff from the microtransaction store that you can buy from the in-game merchant Rita. Now, I've seen some of the stuff in the store. Some of it does look pretty cool. I think there was like an undead armor or something like that not too long ago that I saw. I thought it looked cool, but again, it's optional. You don't have to buy it. So it says, us other players, even those among us who spent over $100 on the collector's edition, have gotten very little content over these last few months. Now, okay, now if they promised you stuff for the collector's edition, I could see something else, you know, an argument there. So they're like, all we've gotten is a nice but kind of lackluster event and a bunch of bug fixes. Why isn't everybody talking about this? Only a few years ago, people would have raised hell if a games company did shit like this. This is not okay, especially not for a game that costs 60 goddamn bucks. And that's a fair argument. Again, I'm not saying anybody's wrong in it. To me, though, if it's optional content, you know, I get it, but I also don't get it at the same time. So commenters in the thread reflected on the series' two prior installments, Origins and Odyssey, but purport the issue appears to be more egregious this time around, drawn unflattering comparisons to Middle-earth Shadow of War, which was eventually forced to remove all microtransactions entirely. See, so that's happened in games in the past. As yet, Ubisoft is not responding to the thread nor commented publicly on the issue. In case you missed it, Ubisoft recently released a big bug squashing update for Valhalla. The game's 1.1.1 update is light on new features but heavy on fixes, with dozens of common issues crossed off. Among those that stood out for Tom in a quick scan down is its very large patch notes are solutions to the bug experienced by numerous people, which saw them permanently stuck in their Halloween-esque Merry Lord disguise even after completing that quest arc. Ubisoft Connect achievements have also been fixed and should correctly unlock the next time you perform any achievement-related action past the unlock condition. So, I mean, again, I get the anger. I'm not saying I support microtransactions, especially if they're overpriced, but it is something that we're not going to escape in games unless they all get banned. I didn't see anything in way of anything too that set me off in Valhalla, to be honest. There was extra stuff, but I didn't see anything like where it was like, oh, I must buy that in order to progress or beat the game. I'm not against microtransactions if they're just purely cosmetic. I am against pay-to-win stuff, but games like Call of Duty and Fortnite have actually been guilty of that, where you'll buy like a season pass, and the season pass will unlock levels. Like, you can unlock levels by paying for them. I'm against that, paying to gain levels and stuff like that. But cosmetic-wise, I could let it slide to an extent. But I did think that this was actually really interesting. I personally enjoyed Valhalla. I thought it was one of the better games I've played so far this year. But interesting article. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.